And in this video, we are reacting to why fast food sucks now. If we being real, number one, it's gonna be how expensive everything is now. Number two, it's gonna be the repetitive nature of everything that we see on the menus now. Number three, we're gonna talk, well, right here it says, I mean, it's showing buildings, so I'm guessing it's gonna say they all look the fucking same. But in all reality, in all seriousness, low-key, I feel like there's not like variety no more. It's kind of like different brands, but the same food, if you feel where I'm coming from. I mean, I cook at home anyway. I just ate right now. So I don't eat out so much, so that when I do eat out, it feels like a big variety. But I have friends and people, I know people that, you know, eat out. Nothing wrong with that. You eat out a lot. And I just think like, damn, you don't get tired? And they do say like, they're tired. What do I want? What do I want? I ate that for breakfast. I ate that for lunch. I ate that for dinner yesterday. I'm like, dang, how many places can you go? But I don't know. Without further ado, let's get straight into this video.
She been comment me.
I'm going to show you a few different modern fast food locations.
I won't try and pause so much because I know I'll be paused. It's already a long video.
With the logos removed, and I want to see if you can guess which restaurant it is. Here is number one. That is Panda Express. Here is number two.
This is Arby's.
That is Arby's. Here is number three.
McDonald's.
That is Burger King.
Damn.
Here is number four.
Oh, that's McDonald's.
That is Wendy's.
Damn.
Fast food restaurants in America have completely lost their identity, but it doesn't stop at these soulless gray buildings. Fast food used to be cheap, tasty, and most importantly, fast. And on top of that, the experience used to be fun. Today, the color is gone. The prices for a meal are almost the same as a regular restaurant, and the service is slower than ever. But this did not happen by accident. In fact, it's all by design. And today I'm going to break down why fast food today is colorless, expensive, and slow. And while it might sound like all hope is lost, there is something you can do to change it. And if enough of us do that, we just might be able to return to the glory days. Modern American fast food buildings are the perfect representation.
Me personally, I'm gonna say this real quick. Me personally, I like this look. I'm not gonna lie. I like the modern look. I like modern things a lot. But there's something about that. There's something about that personality right here. Like I don't agree with all of them looking like that, looking like this. But we know when they have little arches and stuff, that's fire.
Industry. What used to be these creative architectural fun houses have transformed into sterile gray boxes that are severely lacking identity. Some of them kind of look like modern homes, some of them look like banks, some of them just look like corporate offices. But when you remove the logo, you genuinely could not tell what restaurant it was. Compare that to what this architectural illustrator posted on.
That's this is Pizza Hut. This McDonald's. That's Pizza Hut. This is I don't know.
Reddit. Even without the logos, you can still tell which building belongs to each fast food brand. Or can you? I'll see if in the comments one of you gets all 12 correct. Early Taco Bell locations were designed to evoke the look and feel of traditional Spanish and Mexican style architecture. The original buildings featured stucco walls, red clay tile roofs, exposed wooden beams, and arched entryways. Now, you get a gray box with a modern purple LED light. Pizza Hut's red roof became such an iconic part of their design that now
Pizza Hut never had to change. The Taco Bell one looked futuristic, like the Good Burger, the movie, you know, the competition store.
When a new business takes over the building and attempts to redesign, everyone knows it used to be a Pizza Hut. But today's Pizza Hut, yep, another gray box. McDonald's used to have these big glowing arches you could see from a mile away. I was surprised to find out that there are still a few locations that maintain that 1960s vintage look. Take this Bloomington, Minnesota location, for example. It still has the massive arches on each side, red and white striped bricks around the edges, and red outside
Los
outline
Angeles,
gives it
though.
this cartoonish but welcoming vibe. But sometime in 2023, they decided to get rid of all that charm and paint it gray. During
Whoa.
McDonald's nationwide boom in the 1970s, they made a major rebrand to build locations faster. The red mansard roofs with the yellow accents that were supposed to resemble French fries is what most people remember visiting throughout their childhood.
Those
There
are
are still
cool,
a few
too.
locations out there that haven't been modernized. This one in Dunedin, Florida looks absolutely beautiful with the palm trees and the bright blue sky. Or check out this stunning Durham, North Carolina location. This
I've
photo
never
was
seen
taken
white.
in 2021, but it looks like we took a time machine back to 1993.
They're like Pizza Hut.
Sadly, this one was also painted entirely gray in 2024. Even this location outside of Disney World looked like a theme park of its own. And I'm sad to admit that this creative masterpiece has been replaced by what looks like a corporate
All right.
headquarters.
This look like Ghost Rider at Knott's. What is this?
Now, one of the main reasons behind the gray box trend is that it's a safer, smarter real estate investment. This strategy leans heavily on modular construction and prefab standardized architecture. When a previous brand needed a very specific build-out, which usually came down to their custom roofs, it just costs more. And in a way, they're also preparing for their imminent failure, because these vague buildings can be transformed into just about any other business. In New Jersey, this Wendy's was transformed into a Burger King. In Missouri, this old Burger King was turned into a Wendy's. This former Taco Bell KFC combo was turned into a local pharmacy. And this former Arby's is now a local pizzeria. And to no surprise at all, the local pizzeria made a more charming and visually interesting design. Now, my favorite is when chains actually do the opposite of this, when they repurpose an old building, like this old bank in Wilmington, North Carolina that was transformed into a Dunkin' Donuts.
That's scary.
It's undeniably smarter and probably more sustainable to build buildings that can outlive the brand inside them, which will in turn reduce waste and provide opportunity to future businesses. But there's just something sad about it too. Each restaurant lost all its character. But it's not just the exterior that lost its character. The interior is where many of these places thrived. Stepping inside used to feel like entering a little world of its own. Taco Bell had these purple and teal Art Deco chairs, textured wall tiles, and neon squiggles that felt like walking through a 90s
Well, me personally, I don't think I was old enough to ever really experience this.
arcade. People today would probably call this tacky, and they might not
Maybe.
be wrong, but damn, it has an identity. But before we dive deeper, the other day I wasted hours trying to cancel all those subscriptions I forgot about. Luckily,
Right.
it's like immaculate, hanging above every table, plush burgundy booths, and soft yellow lighting that made it feel more like a cozy living room
Wendy's?
than
This
a
was
fast food
Wendy's?
joint. And these sunrooms? Dude, these sunrooms absolutely ripped. Pizza Hut felt like a legit sit-down restaurant with thick carpeting, red vinyl booths, and those iconic Tiffany-style lamps that turned every meal into a
I mean,
dimly
we
lit
didn't have
occasion.
money. We wasn't really
McDonald's
going
had
out.
burger seats. Look at these burger seats. Are they a little terrifying? Sure, but I think
Hell
we can all
yeah.
agree that we want them back. And when management started encouraging a more kid-friendly atmosphere, almost every franchisee built massive playgrounds and indoor sets packed with massive tubes, nets,
But then
and ball
kids start
pits to play
dying.
in while the adults got to enjoy their meal. However, for years, McDonald's had been dealing with injury lawsuits where kids hurt themselves climbing around rope ladders and monkey bars. In a 5-year span alone, from 1986 to 1991, 1,500 injury claims were filed against
Sheesh.
McDonald's when kids fell off their equipment or got trapped in one of their structures. Hundreds, if not thousands of injuries went unreported, and not to mention the sanitation concerns. Even as a kid, I knew those things were filthy. Some places have still tried to hang on to that old school charm well into the 2020s. I found this 1950s retro diner inspired McDonald's location in Williamsburg, Virginia. They have a whole ass 1957 Chevy on the inside just
Golly.
parked in the middle of
That's
the
fire.
restaurant. This beautiful time capsule location was, you guessed it, grayed out and turned into another modernized hospital cafeteria
Nigga
a
got
few
me.
years ago. A location in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn was redesigned to a 1980s theme for a Marvel movie, and to no surprise at all, everyone loves it. And even though it still doesn't look like a true time capsule, it's just enough retro and modern combined to give the place a lot more soul. And if you're watching this and you have a fast food location near you that
Why
still
are you-
has some old school charm, drop it in the comments because I want
No.
to see. But
No, because when you drop it in the comments, they gonna go there and change it. I got one over here by the mall. It's not retroed out. I mean, it's retroed out still. Kinda. The only thing that it did was like the inside has like, you know, the table that like that lights up and you can like play with it. That's the last update. that they did to it, but it still has both arches. And the guy like this, the guy who be like doing that, is real old school.
The blueprint for the modern fast food gray box, the minimalism, the neutral tone textured wallpaper, the IKEA chairs that's
kind of fire though. I don't know. I like
abstract art, the dim industrial lighting. It can all be blamed on Chipotle. Chipotle's early 2000s expansion marked a turning point in the fast food industry. Their concept was called fast casual. You still got your food quickly, but the experience felt more elevated. The menu was simple, the ingredients were marketed as fresher, and the interiors ditched the kid-friendly chaos in favor of something more modern. Because of this, they were able to charge a higher price, and teenagers, college kids, and young professionals were more than willing to pay. But they weren't just paying for vibes. Those 2010s Chipotle burritos were massive. You used to get at least 2 servings of food for one price, which made it comparable to 2 fast food trips. Chipotle's success came at a time when McDonald's and other giants were on a rapid decline. In 2003, McDonald's stock price fell to a 9-year low, and in Q4 of 2023, first net loss in profits they ever had, losing $344 million. Public pressure around junk food intensified during this period. The Super Size Me documentary further tarnished the company's brand. The doc followed Morgan Spurlock, who ate at McDonald's restaurants 3 times a day.
Yeah, I remember, and we watched him in
consuming
school.
Every item on the chain's menu at least once. At the end of the experiment, the 32-year-old had gained 24.5 pounds, a 13% body mass increase, increased his cholesterol to dangerous levels, and became the proof media needed to paint fast food as the face of America's obesity crisis. So while McDonald's scrambled to repair its image, Chipotle was thriving, offering a cleaner, simpler, healthier experience that looked and felt like the opposite of everything fast food had become.
I don't eat Chipotle. I don't like Chipotle.
McDonald's started the Forever Young campaign to transform the playground feel into a cafe-style space. What resulted was a push for a more contemporary aura, accented by terracotta, olive, and gray colors paired with wooden furniture. Of course, other fast food restaurants saw this change and followed suit. I also believe that the success of Starbucks and maybe even the Apple Store had a big impact on the aesthetics of fast food chains. Starbucks proved that people would pay a premium price to hang around in a space that felt upscale, and Apple taught the...
But think about it. If this is McDonald's, why would you want to be eating burgers and fries in this? That don't make any sense. Like, sometimes I be thinking, like, the people that are up there at the top making decisions are saying, okay, we're gonna go through with this, you know. Don't y'all have kids? Don't y'all have family? I know for a fact somebody around you in your circle is talking shit. Man, as in, like, man, I miss the way this used to look. I miss the way this is fire. Yeah, this is fire. Like, you have to be in those conversations or hear them. Because why is it that everybody agrees down here, but up there, it's like they just don't understand. I don't get it. How they just can't hear
a premium price to hang around in a space.
I've never heard one person say this looks way better.
Apple taught the entire retail world that an ultra minimalist design could signal trust and quality. Today, seemingly every fast food chain takes a little bit of inspiration from Chipotle, Starbucks, and the Apple Store, which has majorly contributed to them losing what made them special in the first place. Fast food restaurants were meant to be bold, fun, and kid-friendly, or even calm and cozy sit-downs for the family. But designers Lynn Rosenbaum and Michael Muchoff told the YouTube channel Cheddar that the design choices are nothing more than a marketing tactic.
We have to be perceived as new and fresh and offering food that is new and fresh. What has changed within our restaurants? We want to communicate that to the customer on the outside, and the easiest way to do that is through architecture and interior design.
How can we make it look healthier, but not actually make it
That's what I was
healthier?
about to say.
That's basically the gist. I don't think any logical person is expecting fast food to be healthy, but the risk used to be worth the reward. Because beyond the building design and modern branding, it seems like they aren't even trying to make the food look or taste good anymore. The burgers aren't even close to as advertised, with buns flat as a pancake and lettuce that looks like it was left out all night. Places like KFC refuse to change the oil in their fryers, so you can't even taste the chicken anymore. And those so-called crispy fries you ordered looked like they were defrosted, placed under a heat lamp, and served without anyone noticing they missed a crucial step. Even legendary YouTuber The Report of the Week, who has spent the past decade reviewing fast food.
I used to think this dude right here was Milton. from kicking it, and I'll prove it to you. I used to think Buddy right here. You see him right here? This one right here. Like, he didn't really have short hair in it, so he had like this right here. He looks like Melton. Who he was kissing a girl? Oh, that's a girl. Whew. Shit.
Menu items just about had a meltdown over the decline in quality and service across every big chain in the US after countless bad experiences in 2023.
Instances not as bad as this, but where there have been problems with my order, with the quality, it's just elapsing more and more. And it's not just Culver's. It's every place. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, you name it. There have been so many places, and I'm sure you've noticed this, that I've reviewed in the last couple years, where the food has just been awful. It's quite frankly disgusting. I hate when this happens, and what bothers me even more is when it's becoming more and more of the norm. When I'm trying out these sorts of items, and time and again,
Is this an act?
it's some burnt piece of garbage. It's some just vile slop, for lack of a better word. And it's getting to the point now where pretty much every other item that I review is just, it's disgusting in some way or another. Or it's just so overpriced that it might be alright, but it's like you're burning your money.
I feel him.
What's even the point?
But even if fast food companies lost
I
the
can
fun,
hear the disgust
lost
in his
the
voice.
undeniable guilty pleasure taste, at least it's still cheap, right? Nope. Chick-fil-A, Arby's, Wendy's, Jimmy John's, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Popeyes, and McDonald's all raised their prices by 55 to 100% between 2014 and 2024. Most of us can remember a time where $5 could fill you up at most restaurants. Maybe you'd snag a couple of grillers or a fill-up box from Taco Bell, a McDouble, McChicken and fries, a famous bowl from KFC, and even if you wanted to get full meals, you'd still spend less than $10. What I found shocking is that Columbus, Ohio has the most affordable fast food in the country, but meals still cost $10 on average. Most cities average $12 to $13 for a fast food meal, and I can say with certainty, at least where I live, that there are plenty of local restaurants serving way better food for $13. Some McDonald's locations were charging as high as $18 for a Big Mac meal. In 2024, the McDonald's president Joe Erlinger attempted to
Who's going to McDonald's saying, yeah, I want that Big Mac combo? That's what's keeping the prices up, because someone's actually over there buying it. Stop buying that. You buying a burger with fries and a drink. There's a hack. Get a double quarter pounder and like a something, bro. I don't even know the burgers. I don't eat burgers from fast food places like that. I eat chicken sandwiches. That's different. But
address many of the concerns that Americans had with McDonald's prices significantly rising. What's funny is that they made this graphic that claims to debunk a bunch of myths, while claiming that the facts state that they have only raised their prices by 20 to 40% since 2019. Like, they put this obnoxious claim as a myth. McDonald's
fucking disgusting!
By 138%.
You're lying!
Just to attempt to soften the blow when they say that the fact is that the average price of a medium fries was a 44% increase. Like, we're supposed to be like, oh, only a 44% increase for fries that are soggy, cold, and take 20 minutes to get? Ah, that's so much better.
Nah. Don't forget, when you in certain areas, you get the, what do you want? Is that it? Is that cash or card? Hurry up. Hurry up. We get that too.
38%. The reality is that fast food has entirely
McDonald's got
changed
trash
its value
workers.
proposition to customers in America. It's no longer about being cheap. It's about being lazy. A professor of marketing at Johns Hopkins said, "These chains are not charity organizations. They are not trying to serve cheap food to people who are complaining about high prices. They're trying to get people who have either stopped going to the store or never went there." I suspect the value pricing approach is working for McDonald's. Okay. So, they killed the vibes, ruined the taste, charged way too much money. Is it at least still fast? Well, kinda.
No.
The speed of service has drastically decreased as Americans become more dependent on the drive-thru. America runs on urgency. Our cities are built to drive around, not stop and hang out in. Our work weeks are packed, our commutes are long, and our breaks are
That's why
short.
I
Everything
go
in
inside.
our culture tells us to move faster, work more, and consume more. So we designed an entire meal experience around not having to stop moving. Pull up in your car, order before you speak to a person, get your food in a brown bag, and don't even look inside until you're already merging onto the highway. And
It'd be
stuff
like,
the fries down your throat with one
wrong
hand
deal.
while the other is on the wheel. Drive-thrus aren't about convenience. They're a survival mechanism for a society that doesn't have time to sit down.
And you know what's crazy? If we just take away drive-through, what can we do as people? We will be healthier. Think about it. Damn, that looks crazy. Yeah, y'all didn't tell me. If we take out drive-thrus, what can we do? What can the people that depend on drive-thrus do? Because the people that use drive-thrus and abuse them are the same people that are going to the drive-thrus to McDonald's multiple times a day.
But now even that convenience is starting to collapse. What used to be a 3 to 5 minute pit stop has turned into a 15+ minute wait behind a line of frustrated drivers. Even places like In-N-Out are facing major problems, with lines that literally cause traffic on the highways next to them. Pretty much every Chick-fil-A I've ever been to around lunchtime has 2 rows of 20+ cars bumped.
Okay, I will say one thing now. The lines at McDonald's are crazy. I don't know why. It's McDonald's. Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out. Those are McDonald's and In-N-Out long. Everywhere else I've been seeing the lines and it's been empty, kind of low key. Like, dang, it's not too bad. Like, it hasn't been as bad as it was the past 4 years in my experience, because I only started driving for like 4 years. I've only been driving for like 4 years. So like,
to bumper. Many locations are trying to combat these frustrating wait times by having
bumper to
staff walk
bumper.
around
I'm
with
in Rancho
iPads so you can get
Cucamonga.
that somewhat satisfaction that your order is being taken care of, but it doesn't make the food come out any faster. Now you might think that removing drive-thrus in some locations or incentivizing walk-ins would somehow speed things up, but fast food restaurants have done their homework. Research shows that 47% of US consumers would simply avoid going to a store that doesn't have a drive-thru, and twice as many people prefer using the drive-thru to going in store, and that's because of the American go 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 culture.
So you
as well
telling
as us
me
not prioritizing?
You telling me somebody would say, I'm not going to that store. I'll go wait in the line for 5 to 10 extra minutes to not get out my car. That's ridiculous.
Eating as a meaningful experience. It's just another task to check off the list. Meals in other countries are a cultural staple, a time to slow down, talk, share, and connect. Americans treat eating as something you do out of necessity between meetings, in traffic, or while staring at your phone. And I'm talking to you, who's literally eating a meal while watching this right now. The obsession with quick service, combined with fast food's obsession with margins, is slowly turning these restaurants into massive robotic garages, like this concept released by Taco Bell in 2022 for their new vision for making service easier than ever before, or the new designs Chick-fil-A is rolling out that prioritize quick service, or Jimmy John's cutting down the size of their restaurant to resemble more of a studio apartment. To make it even more streamlined, restaurants are releasing AI menu stands that replace human staff members, and the responses have been mixed, with some customers praising the decision and others arguing this is one step further in the wrong direction. So correct orders and no more attitudes for no reason? More jobs with human contact are going away. With fast food restaurants,
that same person is going through drive-thrus. Then go inside if you don't want that to happen.
Even more convenience? How far away are we from a robotic arm extending from a building and just dumping the food right into our mouths? But as grim as the future looks, there is a way to fight this. There is a way to demand change, get better quality food, better prices, better speeds, and an all-around better experience. The solution is quite simple, and it's being implemented all over the world. Fast food is better outside of America, not just by opinion, but by design. Many nations have stricter regulations on food quality, preservatives, and sourcing. In places like Japan, France, or Germany, the ingredients are often fresher, the portions are more balanced, and
Australia has some fire
respectful
KFC.
of the dining experience. But this change didn't necessarily happen out of respect, it was by force. Like in France, when 5 activist farmers tore down a McDonald's that was being built in the southern town of Malau in August 1999. They handed out out Roquefort cheese at the protest, which they said was to denounce US import restrictions and hormone-treated beef. But this was a calculated attack. In that same week, French farmers dumped 6 tons of manure on a McDonald's restaurant in Arles. This was a symbol of resistance against American food imperialism and the spread of
manure at
unhealthy
our
standardized
McDonald's
meals. And it wasn't just about the food, they were defending culture, agriculture, and tradition. And it worked. French consumers began demanding locally sourced ingredients, and McDonald's responded. Today, around 75% of the food served in McDonald's France is sourced domestically. Now, this doesn't mean go and destroy your local McDonald's, but it is proof that a protest goes a long way. Also, McDonald's Europe became the first food service retailer in many markets to sell Marine Stewardship Council certified sustainable fish. The MSC is widely considered the gold standard.
And let me tell you, that fish in Europe goes stupid. They go so stupid. I'm telling you. You hear people say, "Oh no, that place is good." Let me. You hear it here first. I was in Amsterdam. When I was in the Netherlands, even Germany, bro. The food that they're using is so good. The McDonald's doesn't even taste like McDonald's. I'm telling you. You walk in, the fries taste like McDonald's fries, but they're always crisp. Everything is fresh made. They say, how can I hip? You know what I mean? No attitude, no nothing. There might be a little YN back there, a Turkish YN. Other than that, it's solid. Australia I had McDonald's. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was shit. But their Burger King was really, really, really good. It was oily, but it was really good.
Certification for sustainable wild-caught seafood. Because if they did not meet these standards, then European countries would simply not allow them to serve fish. In India, they mostly don't serve beef or pork items due to religious values held by the citizens. In China, they serve taro pies. Taro is a plant native to Southeast Asia whose roots and leaves are used for food in this region. In Saudi Arabia, 100% of their menu must be halal. Therefore, all products served at McDonald's restaurants are inspected and approved by local authorities and Islamic inspectors at the countries of export. The point is, McDonald's and other fast food restaurants will abide by socio-cultural, religious, food preferences, and environmental factors, or they will simply not be allowed to serve food in that country. And they might even complement the country with a vibey atmosphere. They'll serve food in decommissioned planes in New Zealand, a colorful building pagoda in China, or a ski up in Sweden. The end result, better service, better food, better vibes, and customers who treat eating as something worth sitting down for. All of these point to the fact that fast food restaurants can still be colorful, fun, cheap, and have the best quality food available for their meals. It's just that they only change when people finally start to walk away. This is not the answer you want, but it is the truth. Sure, the buildings are gray and bland. Sure, the service is slow. Sure, the food doesn't taste as good, and corporate greed is driving up the price. But you can protest. You can just stop going, and they will be forced to resort back to the things that made these restaurants special.
The problem is people are not going to stop going.
Most of us refuse to order from these fast food restaurants, then nothing is.
Hey man, I already reacted to that Chris Angel one, but I don't think anybody's going to want to watch it. Hey, you heard it here. We can get this to go back to how we want it. Cheaper prices, better buildings, better tasting food, faster, quicker food if we go and dump manure. So go to your nearest restaurant, dump manure. Other than that, appreciate y'all for watching. See y'all next video. Peace.